So yeah, and obviously we know Liverpool went into the summer with, a big change in midfield. Obviously Jordan Henderson left, James Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita. 4 new players have come in. How do you think it's going after, 3 or 4 months now?
Well, I think if you look at the season as a whole, it's going as well or possibly even better than we could have hoped for. I still think there's areas where we need to sort things out, and I still think midfield is one of them. We have a lot of options in midfield, but I don't think as of yet we've found that combination that gives you that same feel as the midfield when we're at our best. And here I'm talking about Fabinho, Henderson and Wijnaldum. That midfielder, you feel that wherever you travel to, they'll be able to hold their own. So I still think there's some work to be done. Having said all of that, there is a lot of promise in some of the midfield players we brought in.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing Alexis McAllister almost out of position, if you like. He's probably played there occasionally for Brighton and maybe Argentina, but it's not a position where, he come to Liverpool and he was renowned for playing as that number 6. He's a very different type of player to the players you associate with that role. And how do you think it's going for him?
Well, obviously, he hasn't as of yet been able to show his Brighton form. But I think the reason that we're using him there as a 6 is because he's what they now call in modern day football a press-resistant number 6, because he's very good with the ball. But I think, and again I'm only guessing this, but I would think that Alexis would feel more comfortable when he gets moved a little bit further forward. Then he can really show what he's capable of, which is playing in tight areas. He's got a good vision. So I still think, and when we spoke about the midfield before, I still think he's definitely got more to show than what we've seen so far.
Yeah, and we know Liverpool obviously tried briefly to try and bring Moises Caicedo to the club at what would have been, a British transfer record at the time. So the fact that they didn't sign him and then they've signed Wataru Endo, who's maybe a little bit of a deputy in that number 6 role, that probably is a big sign that maybe even Jurgen Klopp knows that this is maybe an incomplete squad in the centre of the midfield at the moment. Yeah,
I mean, it looks like Endo is a squad player, and he's going to get to play in a lot of our European games and a lot of our Carabao Cup games. But what I like about it is that we didn't get who we wanted as a number 6, and instead of then maybe chasing somebody we weren't 100% sure about, we've decided again to wait. And I just hope that we've been able to do what we normally do, is find somebody where the numbers stack up and they come in and make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the times Liverpool have done that under Jurgen Klopp, waited for the right player. Virgil van Dijk is one who jumps out, and Alisson Becker as well. And, that tends, you look at their respective contributions, it tends to be something that works out for Liverpool in the long haul when you do wait for the right player the Klopp wants.
Yeah, I remember the frustration with Virgil. And once people knew that we had that kind of money available to buy a player, and people were saying, well, if we can't get Virgil, surely for that money we can find somebody else. But as it happened, it was Virgil that we wanted. So I have a feeling that Moises Caicedo was the one that we wanted. It wasn't just last summer we tried to sign him. I believe we tried the summer before. So I'm sure that on our list somewhere we have somebody that we feel we can bring in where you're comfortable paying the money. I mean, they were comfortable paying the money for Moises Caicedo because of his age and his talent, and also because of the way that football prices generally have moved on, isn't it? So, credit to the owner for being prepared to do that, isn't it? But I'm sure we got somebody else on the horizon.
Yeah, and just finally, then another midfielder who has kind of hit the ground running is Dominic Szoboszlai. He's been absolutely sensational for my money since he's come in. What have you made of him yourself?
And he was a good player. It's just a question of how good and how quick. We've seen a lot of good players come from the German Bundesliga and struggled to settle in the Premier League. Some have had to make the journey back because they haven't quite made it. So, as I said before, it was just a question of how good can he be in the Premier League, because I knew playing for the Hungarian national team and in the Bundesliga he'd been superb. But he's obviously from day one hit the ground running, because I think it's fair to say that he appears to be one of those special talents. He's capable of taking every step up in his stride and prove what he can do. And so, yeah, he's been I'll even go as far as to say that possibly even people from within the club who were part of signing him might have been surprised at how good and how quickly he's been able to prove how good he is.
Yeah, so just finally, I mean, I suppose the excitement for supporters is that they're not quite sure what the ceiling is for this squad at the moment, with it being, pretty new with so many coming and going. Find themselves second, obviously heading into the weekend, huge game against City. What is the potential of this squad? What do you think?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think, as you said, it's too early to say. And I think we had a spell of about 3 or 4 seasons where we knew they were capable of getting the points that it would take to win the Premier League. And here I'm talking about certainly 90 plus points. what this group of players are capable at the moment, I don't quite know. But again, you know, you're starting to look at some of the ages and thinking they're the right age, aren't they? We've got quite a relatively young squad in many positions, isn't it? So I really think we're still at the level where we're waiting for them to show us what they're capable of. And when you talk about what a squad of players is capable of, then playing Manchester City away is a big part of that, isn't it? You know, what have we got?
Brilliant. Cheers, Jan.